Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're going to take a look at a Warhammer community article talking about the new combat patrols. So we have 5 new combat patrols landing. Most of them we saw coming, but let's check out the composition, talk about the price of them, compared to what you're getting inside. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and of course warcry content. Everything from reaction, reviews, conversions, painting tutorials, and lights, magnets, pretty much anything Games Workshop, anything in between. I'm down for it, as well as some 3D printing and D&D stuff as well. So the Tau Empire leads the charge as 5 combat patrols prepare to land. So Codex Tau Empire is on its way to bring enlightenment to the universe, whether by soft-spoken diplomacy or very big, very loud guns. Regardless of your preferred method of conquest, a Tau force needs to be flexible in its ability to respond, a fact recognized in the upcoming Tau Empire Combat Patrol. So first we have the Tau Empire Combat Patrol. We know these are priced at $140 American. About most of the battle forces were right around, like, let's say 90. So it's about 50% larger than the battle forces and 50% more expensive. But overall, they've been a pretty good deal. So let's just kind of take a look at what we have here. So we got a description right here. We'll just read it off. The core of the new box, as with all Tau Empire armies, is a Fire Warriors strike team. So we know that can make either the regular strike team or the breachers. 10 troops to lay down withering storms of pulse rifle fire when they claim objectives. And we know they actually have pulse rifles, pulse carbines, or the like shotguns. So leading them into battle is Cadre Fireblade, an expert commander with years of battlefield experience. So that's this dude right here, Cadre Fireblade character. And then we'll just keep on scrolling here. I'm going to finish reading this. For these occasions where you need a little sneakiness, the Combat Patrol box features 3 stealth battlesuits, and for when you just need raw firepower, there's a Ghostkeel battlesuit as well. Finally, you also get an ethereal to provide some spiritual guidance to the army and scoot around dramatically on their hover drone. So obviously the Ghostkeel is pretty beast. Definitely he has like stealth technology, and then is really good for like destroying heavily armored targets with his fusion and his special Ghostkeel weapon. He is like the medium large version of the suits. We have the ethereal, who is, I don't really know how to even describe like the purpose of an ethereal. He's like the equivalent of like their psyker, but doesn't have psychic powers. So I guess he's just like a character. It's weird. I don't know. Hopefully they get something cool in the new codex. And then we have obviously the basic troopers, the little turret that comes with them. This looks like big in the picture, but it's like the size of a fire warrior. That is the Fireblade model. Man, that thing is rough. Like, it was close to being really cool, but maybe it's just a bad angle. I don't know. And then obviously we have the 3 stealth suits as well. And then the Ghostkeel has his like special 2 drones, I believe, come with him. And then the stealth suits have 1 drone with them, and then they're like stealth beacon. And then the Fire Warriors will have 2 drones with them, and then the turret. So not a bad set. 10 Fire Warriors, the turret, a total of 5 drones, the ethereal, the Fireblade, the Ghostkeel, and 3 stealth suits. So I think that's a pretty nice sized. Like the current existing start collecting Tau, which we can assume is going away with these, because they basically have been replacing them. The current Tau one is the same 10 Fire Warriors. So again, it's going to have the turret and the drones. And then it had the ethereal still. So that's the same. And then, so basically, instead of the Ghostkeel, the stealth suits, or the Fireblade, you get 3 crisis suits and then 6 drones. So, the crisis suits are basically like price-wise equivalent to, like the stealth suits and the character, probably somewhere around there. I want to say like I want to say they're about 80 bucks, or the equivalents of like to him. So you're basically getting, it's about the same deal, I think. Because if you're getting all this same stuff here, the existing battle force is I think 90 or 95 maybe. And then you're getting the stealth suits, the Ghostkeel, and the Fireblade instead of the crisis suits. I think it's probably about the same because you end up paying like 50 bucks more, $45 more, something like that. And you end up getting basically like a unit in the character. So it's probably about the equivalent of a deal. I think it's a nice set though. I mean, this is all, arguably, almost every Tau army has crisis suits. Not every Tau army has stealth suits and a Ghostkeel. But I do really like this. I think it's a good set. I think it's a good way to go. Yeah, I think it's pretty solid. I really do. Obviously, like the Hammerhead rules are pretty good right now. Honestly, I was kind of surprised to see that the Hammerhead price hasn't changed. I really thought Games Workshop was going to pull it out of the store and then put it back in more expensive. But it's still 60 bucks, so that might be something that's going to change soon. The fact that you can still grab that up for $60, arguably people are like, oh, that's not a good deal. Well, I mean, if you look at the Sisters of Battle tanks, they're like, I think 60 to 65 and 75. So it is a pretty good deal, honestly, compared to them. Same with like the Space Marine tanks. The Space Marine equivalent is like the Gladiator or like the Impulsor. That's like the newer Space Marine tanks. And I want to say like the Impulsor is 60 and the Gladiator is 80. So, for like the heavy tank to be still 60 bucks is, I mean, pretty good deal, I'd say. Considering everything else has like pretty much gone up. So it says the box provides a combat patrol sized force, which is ideal for those who want to dip their toes into the wonderful world of advanced Tau technology, letting you get to grips with the new Montka and Koyan tactic philosophies, or kicking off a nascent crusade force should diplomacy fail. So maybe that's what the ethereal does. He like has like the Montka or the Koyan. Might be it. He gives them like a bonus for like one turn, or like with the stratagem multiple turns maybe. I can't remember. In Kill Team I know like just your regular bro can do that. So then next we have Grey Knights. Now this gets into like shaky ground again here. Okay. Not saying this is bad. I don't want to come off like negative right off the bat. But 12 models. So let's look at that one. Following on from the events of Shadow Throne, the perfidious Genestealer cultists and the towns of the Emperor are misunderstanding. Oh, sorry. I was like looking and reading at the same time. Mustering combat patrols to continue their respective missions across the Imperium. You'll be able to prepare for these campaigns with Codex Adeptus Custodes and Codex Genestealer cults, which are both packed full of thematic rules like devastating crossfire and peerless battle stances. Oh, okay, I did miss a line here. I was wondering what the heck if I missed something. If all the Tau tech fails to tickle you, don't worry. Over the next few months, more new combat patrols are coming. Warhammer 40k for Grey Knights, Thousand Sons, Genestealer cults, and Custodes. Okay, so that was all they really said. But we can look here at the Grey Knights one. It's 12 models, so it is like the dreadknight. It looks like, I mean, it's 5 terminators and 5 regular bros. So that does not seem like a good deal. I don't know. I mean, I want to say like the regular bros are like, I think you can get 10 regular bros for 60 bucks. And the terminators are like 60 bucks. And then the dreadknight is, maybe he's more than 60. I mean, that's like 180 bucks for 140. That doesn't seem like that good of a deal. And it's also not a lot of models. I think this should have a character in it. Oh, maybe there is a character. Okay, maybe that's what I'm missing. Yeah, okay, hang on. Hang on. Might have jumped the gun on that one. So if it's 12 models, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular dudes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terminators. And then it looks like a Grey Knight librarian. I would think that they would... yeah, maybe it's a Grey Knight librarian and then the suit. So, okay, I guess it's a little better. Still not great, but, they're also expensive in points and a low model count army, but they do pack a punch, so I guess that's where they're going with that one. That's could go either way, to tell you the truth. Could go either way. I guess with the character, it's not that bad of a deal because you figure 60. See, I mean, I would have really liked to just see 10 Grey Knights in that set. I think that would have been a much better setup. I mean, maybe that would have just been too much. I don't know. So Combat Patrol, Thousand Suns. Or if they did Castle and Crow in there, why didn't they do Crow? Maybe they did. No, that definitely looks like the character you get. And I don't think that's Castle and Crow. So anyway, let's keep moving here. So Thousand Suns are next. So here we see that like new Magistar, I think his name was, like the new character that came out in the Grey Knight's first Thousand Suns set. So that is cool because he's not like actually available anywhere else. And I know like that was a pretty cool model, definitely popular. And then it looks like at a glance 20 Tzaangors and 5 Scarab Occult Terminators, which one can be made into a like sorcerer, I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, so 20 Tzaangors, 5 Terminators, the Rubric Terminators, and then the Magistar. So no regular Rubric Marines, but tons and tons of Tzaangors. Really don't know a ton about the rules right now for Thousand Suns or like what's good or what's not. I know the Scarab Occult Terminators are pretty awesome. The Tzaangors are basically like kind of like demonic cultists for them. And then, you know, obviously they're based on their psychic powers. So that's probably pretty strong. 20 Tzaangors, though, might be a little overdoing it. I would think that for a combat patrol, you would rather have like 10 Tzaangors and 10 Rubric Marines. But, hey, that probably works out to be a better deal for a Games Workshop also. So maybe that's why. But, you know, if you figure 60, 35 is 95, I don't even know how much Tzaangors are per set. I would say probably maybe 45. So it seems like you get a lot in this box. 26 models versus 12. Obviously, these bros hit a lot harder, but I don't know. How many was in the towel box? 23. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely just... And 23, and one of them is like the big battlesuit. You know, obviously these are like Marines and Terminators, but, you know, one big battlesuit and you only get 12. That just is like reminiscent to me of like the Black Templars, where you just don't feel like you're getting enough. Even if it's like a great deal based on retail prices, like model count is definitely a thing. So, but anyway, let's keep moving. So next we have the Custodes box set, or Custodes. So in this one, we've got 3 of the bikes, 3 of the regular Custodes. We've got 10 of the Sisters of Silence. So this one probably has the most diversity in it because you can build. Now, granted, this changes things up, but with the bikers, you can build 1 into a shield captain on bike, which is an epic character. He's like awesome. But then you actually can't field a squad because you need 3 minimum for a squad. So that's not really an option if you just have this combat patrol. But then also with the regular Custode squad, you get 5 of them. 1 can be built as a standard bearer, and 1 can be built as a shield captain. So you could actually have a squad of 3 Custodes. You could have a vexilla praetor, and then a shield captain. So you can basically build like an elite, a character HQ, and then 3 troops just out of that 1 squad, which is pretty cool. And then for the Sisters of Silence, each of those 5 squads, 5 woman squads, can be built as either like the troop choice, which has bolters, the fast attack choice, which has like their flamers, or I think it's the elite choice that has the swords. So you could basically do like a combination of them, but you could essentially build 2 squads of like 5 sisters and then 1 squad of 3 custodes, and actually have like 3 troop choices in here, with 1 like fast attack choice and an HQ and an elite. Or you can mix it up completely. You could have just 1 big squad of sisters with like 9 of them in the unit, or 10. But instead you could build like the 10th one as like the character for like the Sisters of Battle. So she's like the... I can't remember what she is, but it's like Knight Centurion or something like that. Knight Centura. So you could have like 9 sisters in a squad with a character sister. And then you could do, same thing with all these guys and the bikes. That's like pretty nice diversity. It seems like the Sisters of Battle are gonna, or the Sisters of Silence are gonna be like a little more incorporated into the army as like a cheap kind of like troop fast attack elite's choice. I think that's a good idea. I did not like when they started to like spin it off like they were going to be their own army. It just always felt like they were just never going to have enough units. And then they never did. They pretty much never got anything else added in. Like they had one character get added in. So now that they like put them back together and everything is together again, I think it's good for the Custodes because now they have like some cheap like kind of chaff models for like claiming objectives and like bolstering like their numbers. But also like, you know, the sisters are like fairly durable for toughness 3. Anti-psyker, which is an important part of the army, and you know, really fill it out. I think the best thing they did was pushing them all back together. So we'll see how it is. You know, here's another thing too. I talked about it with the Kill Team set and that last box set that came out, the Genestealer Cult versus the Custodes, and you know, Shadow Throne. And I said that it should have a unit of Custodes and then a unit of the sisters in it with the new character, and then that way you could play Kill Team with it. The troop Custodes, like the 5 Custodes, is like $50. The 5 sisters is $50, so that's $100. So you basically get 50, 100, 150, and then there's 60. So it's about $210 worth of retail for, you know, what we can assume will be 140. So that's a pretty nice like savings over just buying these units separately. But also now, if you were gonna buy just one squad of sisters and just one squad of Custodes to play Kill Team with, you would spend $100 on those. So with this, you spend an extra $40, and now you end up with a squad of bikes and an extra squad of sisters. And then you have everything you need to play Kill Team, and then you have everything you need to play, like, you know, smaller gains of 40k. So I really like that setup. I like the idea of being able to buy a combat patrol and be fully able to play Kill Team, you know, or, you know, and alternatively, essentially, you could build a 10 sister Kill Team, you could build a 4 Custodes Kill Team, you could build the 5 sisters with the 2 Custodes, or you could go full on combat patrol. So I really like that one. I think that is definitely the way to go. I really like that. I think that's a great kit. It seems like a good value as well. So definitely going to give the golf clap to the combat patrol Custodes. And then how about next? Our Genestealer Cult. Oh, and that one is 18 models. So again, you know, it's not a ton of models, but I'd say that's in a nice spot. Like, if you put that up against those Grey Knights, though, the Grey Knights are going to get absolutely decimated. Like, there's no way the Grey Knights will be able to stand up to them. You like in a battle. I mean, I don't know. That just seems crazy to me. The Custodes are like the most elite army, and you get 18 of them. And then the Grey Knights are like the second most elite, and you get 12 of them. I just feel like they would get schooled. Maybe they have some phenomenal psychic powers. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep moving on. So Genestealer Cults are next. All right. So for the Genestealer Cults, it looks like we're going to get 1 Goliath truck. It looks like 5 of the metamorphs. And then we've got 20 of the regular neophytes. 5 abberants. And then the character. What is her name? Can't think of her name off the top of my head. It's like the female, like bald female character in the cloak. So it's 32 total models. That's a pretty nice set. I mean, the Goliath truck is pretty slick. I want to say these are 45 each for these squads. I think the Goliath is, I want to say 60. So that's like 150. 45 for the metamorph. So that's 195. 25 for the character, so that's 220, and then the aberrants are, I want to say, like 40 or 45. That seems like so much stuff in there. Did I count that up right? 90 and maybe 50, 140, 190, 2. That seems like a really good deal, like compared to retail. And I know a lot of people like to jump in the comments and be like, that's not a good deal. I could buy a 3D printer and print that, or I could buy, you know, a whole army of this different game. And like, you have to understand, when I'm doing these videos, I'm not comparing this to like any other cheap option of like what you could do, because you could like go to the Goodwill and like buy some like random stuff secondhand and it'd be way cheaper than this, you know, but it's not going to be 40k models. Or you could go to the dollar store and buy like little green plastic army men. Like, that's not a fair comparison. I'm comparing this to like retail and the value that you get in comparison to just going out and buying the individual units retail. So I know that's gonna like make some people mad, but let's be real here. Like, we can't compare, apples to rocks. Like, we got to compare apples to apples here. So this seems like a nice set. I think these two pretty much kill it. I mean, this is a great starting point for either one of these two armies right here. If you can come in the game at $140 and have a nice army with a bunch of troop choices and a bunch of like useful units, it doesn't just seem like they jammed in, a bunch of stuff off the shelf to get rid of. That's a nice setup. I like it. That Genestealer cult one is like super juicy. I mean, abberants are pretty durable. I want to say you can throw them inside the Goliath truck, and that thing hits hard, but is also a transport. You've got 20 of these bros that can have like some pretty decent like shooting weapons for like, kind of staying back, claiming objectives, etc. The metamorphs have like, basically the ability to just like pop up with some heavy weapons, like melee type weapons, and do some serious damage. And then you've got a character in that set too. Yeah, and then like your little squad leaders can do a little damage as well. I gotta say that's a nice set. I like both these sets. These are probably my two favorite ones. The Thousand Suns one just feels like a little chaffy with the tzaangors, but arguably, you get 20 chaff in this as well. So I guess it's all subjective. The Grey Knights one seems like kind of a miss, honestly. I mean, everything's tough, and it's all like a bunch of psychers, but it just seems like it's missing some serious model count. It really needed to have 10 of the regular bros in it, in my opinion. And then maybe just like skip the regular model, have 10 bros, 5 terminators, and the baby carrier. I don't know. And then the Tau one, like model count and everything, it's nice, but like, I mean, honestly, if I pictured like all these going up against each other, like if these were gonna like battle each other, man, it could be a good fight. It could be a good fight. Yeah, I mean, overall, I think these are nice. I like them. I think they did well with these. I mean, they can't all be winners. They're not going to be perfect. But overall, I have to say they're nice. This is easily a great starting force and a good deal for the Genestealer cults. You could easily pop a couple like a squad of pure strain Genestealers and a couple characters in here, and you're set. Like if you also bought Shadow Throne, this is perfect to like accent these combat patrols, and maybe that's the way they did it. The way they did, because you get a bunch of characters. You get like that character pack for the Genestealer cults, and then on top of that, you basically have another squad of the neophytes as well. So I mean, you're sitting pretty. You have like 4 extra characters and a squad of neophytes. So at that point in time, this is like a big juicy like 50 model army you got going on. That's nice. And then for the Custodes, you have basically like that extra character. You have another squad of sisters, so maybe that's a little bit overkill. But then you have also a squad of terminators. So again, that's a pretty juicy force. I like to always run 3 troop choices. And, honestly, for the sisters, you could run 2 5-man sister squads. And then, maybe run one of the sisters' characters. So you still have, fill out the squads and then have the character. You could run 3 sister squads. You could run one as an elite or one as a fast attack. I like it. I think those are pretty juicy. Let's see now if we did the same comparison with this box set. So with these box sets, you had, man, I can't remember what came in them. I can't remember what came in these sets. I want to say it was Castellan Crow and the Magistar. So you would have a double of this character, and then you would have Castellan Crow over here. And then I think it was another dreadknight and 5 more of these bros. So you would have 10 of them, 2 dreadknights, Castellan Crow, this character, and then 5 terminators. That's arguably not a bad force. Points-wise, that's probably a decent-sized force. So I guess like as an expansion, if you had those 2 together, it'd be pretty good. And then for the Thousand Suns, you have 20 tzaangors. You would have 2 of this like Magistar dude, and I might not even be calling him the right name. You would have 5 of the scarab occult terminators, And then what was it? Rubric Marines? Man, I don't even remember what came in that set. I really can't remember. I want to say it was a squad of Rubric Marines. But overall, that's pretty good. I mean, that's a lot of tzaangors, but also in a larger army, are you going to take 20 tzaangors? Probably. I don't think you would be like mad to have 20 tzaangors, but you probably would never need any more. And then as far as the Tau, again, I really like this set. I think realistically, if you already had a Tau battle force, this was like pretty much perfect because you have a second squad of fire warriors. The extra ethereal is probably not like a great setup. I don't think you'd ever really take two, but you'd also have your crisis suits as well. So you'd be pretty well set on that. Now, granted, yeah, I mean that would be pretty legit because you'd have 20 fire warriors. I mean, maybe you'd rather have some pathfinders. I mean, you can sit here and nitpick these things all day. Honestly, I think they're pretty solid. I think, basically what we were expecting is happening. All of the start collectings are going away, but we're replacing them all with combat patrols. So the price point to get into the game is going up by about $50. Because before you could start the game for about $90 with one of these start collectings. Now it's going up to $140, but arguably you're getting more models. So while you're paying more as like your entry point into the game, you're getting more for your money, getting more of like a force. So while you're not necessarily saving more, you're just getting like a larger bundle of the same savings, I think. So overall, I really like these. I think they did pretty well with them. Some slightly more than others. Let's see what it says at the bottom. All 5 of these boxes will help you get a playable force on the tabletop, perfect for getting involved with the first season of Warhammer 40,000. We're not even going to talk about the seasons in this one, in which the battle for control over Vigilus and Nakmun Gauntlet continues. 2022 promises to be a packed year of Warhammer 40,000 and the Eldritch Storm raging and plenty more exciting releases to come. Stay up to date with all the latest by signing up for Warhammer Community Newsletter. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I feel about the seasons. Actually, I do know how I feel about seasons. I'm going to leave that one out of this one. Maybe I'll do like a, rant video on that. You can let me know what you think of the seasons. Let me know what you think of these combat patrols, how they would fit as like an expansion force, how they would fit as like a starting force. Which one's your favorite? We'd be picking any of these up. Also, it's safe to assume at this point in time, if there's any start collectings out there that you want to get, you better get them because they're going to be gone. They're probably still in stock. They're probably still available. But we know basically the combat patrol is replacing the start collecting. So if there's 1 or 2 or whatever out there that you're interested in, better get them quick. So, and start collecting has been gone forever for the Thousand Sons. There was no start collecting for Adeptus Custodes. There was no start collecting for the Grey Knights as well. And then we know for the Genestealer, we already talked about the Tau one. We know for the Genestealer cults, the start collecting was, 10 neophytes, the little Ridge Runner, and then it was like the Acolyte hybrid with the standard, like with the flag. So I think this is just exponentially better. This is a really nice set. I really like this. And then maybe just because we didn't have a Custodes one before, but I really like that one. I mean, you would literally spend on the bikes and the regular Custodes, you would spend 110 and just on those 2 units. So for an extra like $30, you're getting, $100 worth of sisters, which arguably they were a little overpriced to begin with. $50 for 5 of them, but they are nice models. They actually do look great, all painted up and everything. But it's all, again, we could sit here and nitpick all day long and argue, but overall, glad to see these coming out. I like seeing every army having, start collectings or combat patrols or whatever. I like to see new kits coming out and new ways to get a discount. But we know that it's going to be a wrap for the start collecting. So, but overall, very happy with these sets. Looking forward to them. We don't have any official release dates or know when they're coming or anything like that. But overall, I think most of these are a good starting point for an army or expansion to an existing army. Let me know what you think. I am curious to hear your opinion as well. But there we have our new 5 combat patrols coming out this year. And then obviously we have new codexes coming out for, at this point in time, what we've got the Tau, we've got the Thousand Sons, we've got the Grey Knights, Custodes just coming out this week. Genestealer cult's coming out this week. So all these will have codexes now. So that is definitely nice. They're definitely knocking out quite a bit of content and models as well. So hard to keep up. So make sure you get up with this season, guys. But that's it for today. Let me know what you think. Let me know your opinions. If you like this kind of content, let me know. If you don't, let me know as well. Feel free to comment down below. Let me know your opinion on some of these things. Make sure you like and subscribe for everything from the reactions, reviews, conversions, paint jobs, tutorials, how to, revealing commissions as they go out of the studio, everything in between for Warhammer 40,000, Necromunda, Kill Team, and then of course Age of Sigmar and Warcry as well. I am Warhammer Man, this Warhammer Man Studios, and I'm out of here.